I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're taking a look at a fantastic book. It is called There Is Always Room for One More Blessing. It's written by an amazing author by the name of Septimus Barrock. This book delves into the power of the mind, offering original and inspirational quotes to help readers find clarity and purpose. Septimus Barrock provides a mental blueprint to navigate life's challenges, ensuring that consciousness and confidence converge. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Septimus, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
It's a pleasure to be here, Logan. It is indeed a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine, sir. Let's start out by talking about the title. There is always room for one more blessing. What do you mean by that?
Well, the truth of the matter is I am trying to inspire people and to get them to look inwardly, because sometimes in life you might feel like you have hit a dead end and there is nowhere else to go. It's just a matter of consciousness. If you become aware that there is an infinite space in which blessings can come, then you would know that there's always room for one more in your life.
Exactly. And we all need at least one more blessing because you can never have too many blessings, that's for sure. What is one of your favorite quotes from the book? And could you tell us a little bit about it?
Wisdom is not acquired, it's unfolded. And let me expand upon that for you. The truth of the matter is, when we come to this life, we come with everything that we need. Wisdom is there. Wisdom is what created us in the first place, right? So there is nothing on the outside that could create wisdom on the inside. Knowledge could be extracted from the external universe, and then we could connect it to our inside where wisdom dwells. So wisdom is already there. It's as if you are saying that God is already in you, right? So we just need to be able to find that space where it is and unfold it into our lives and into the universe around us.
Very, very true. Very, very wise. And when you talk about that wisdom, are you talking about the wisdom of God, the wisdom of nature? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in some arenas, one would say that nature and God is one and the same, right? So I'm talking about both, right? We can train a dog to do tricks and so on, but there is an innate component inside of that dog that makes it function, right? A volcano will erupt. No one can say to the volcano, okay, erupt tomorrow.
Right.
It just knows that it will erupt when certain forces come together. So I'm talking about both when I'm talking about wisdom.
Absolutely. And I guess it's also open to interpretation. The reader might find spiritual meaning, other people might find secular meaning, and that's what is important about your book. How can readers apply these quotes to their daily lives and achieve a better mental state?
Well, the thing is, again, I am going to give just a little mini lesson here so that we can all understand, right?
That's good.
But those people, and lots of people read the Bible and so on, and other books that have inspirational words in them. It says that God is omnipotent, right? Most powerful. God is omniscient. God knows everything. God is omnipresent. God is present everywhere at the same time. For example, I just took a trip to the Caribbean. I had to take 4 planes to get to where I'm going. Now, based on what we understand of God, God doesn't have to do that. God is already everywhere at the same time. So here is the kicker now. If we embrace the notion that we are made in his likeness and created in his image, then in some part of our being, we are like God. It so happens that that knowledge escapes us, is not sufficiently put into us. So we don't try to stay in that state of consciousness. We worry about the things that are immediate, that are controlled by the brain, and so on. We worry about bills, we worry about relationships, we worry about everything, which I consider to be noises that present themselves between us and our ability to make that connection with the God in us.
Very, very important, very, very strong words, very, very applicable to all of our lives. Tell us what role the subconscious mind plays in overcoming life's challenges, according to your book.
Well, according to my book and according to my understanding of the subconscious is that transcendent place in the deepest part of our being, where everything is perfect. Now, sometimes we get little glimpses into what we are truly capable of, okay? For example, deja vu. We go to a place for the first time and everything looks familiar. Now, how does that happen? It's because we have that spirit part in us that doesn't have to take time to travel from point A to point B. So that part gets there first, but you have to be on a certain wavelength to be able to recognize this consciousness. What if we're able to live on that plane with that understanding every day? We'd be so powerful, we could actually control the situations and circumstances around us.
Absolutely. It's a matter of having our hearts open, our minds open to that wonderful force, to that divine force. Tell us how your background in teaching and international relations has influenced the content and the measure and the message of your book.
Well, absolutely. I like to say that those of us who are in the teaching profession, we should count ourselves lucky. Of course, we know there is no real financial reward in that profession, but there is spiritual reward. Every time you could realize how you're uplifting other people academically and otherwise, there is no value you can put on that, right? I've had students, and some of them still reach out to me from my days as a college professor to tell me and to thank me for exposing them to certain ways of looking at life. I didn't just teach, and a teacher is not just supposed to teach. A teacher is supposed to change lives. It's just so happened that in some cases, some teachers lack understanding as well. And so they say the wrong thing, and a student could be messed up forever, right? But then there are others who say the right things, and then they uplift the person forever.
Absolutely. That is the power of a teacher, that you can see the beauty in someone, the intelligence in someone, the gifts in someone, or you can see the negative. Unfortunately, there's a lot out there who see the negative, and those teachers should probably retire so we can hire more teachers like you, for sure. Before we leave you today, is there another inspirational quote you'd like to share with us and talk to us about its meaning?
Let me find something here real quick from my book.
Sure.
Good news does not always arrive in pretty packages. Good news does not always arrive in pretty packages. That's almost self-explanatory, right? Sometimes what appears to be difficulty that you're experiencing is actually the end of an era or the beginning of a new era, right? Ends and beginnings have a common meeting point. So you have to phase out one thing before you can make room for the other thing. And sometimes the end of a phase is turbulent. And so it looks like pain to us. But once we get past that, we're ready for the new thing.
Wonderful. It's great advice. And of course, we're never fully aware or understand God's plan for us, the meaning of the universe. So sometimes those pretty packages that look pretty are not, and things that look not pretty are. So it's part of living, it's part of life, it's part of understanding and growing. The name of the book is There's Always Room for One More Blessing. It is a powerful book that delves into the power of the mind, offering original and inspirational quotes to help readers find clarity and purpose. You heard just two of them today. They were great. There's lots more in this book that you can unpack and help you reflect on your life, meditate on life, and make changes that'll help you navigate life's challenges much more effectively. You'll do it with consciousness, and you'll do it with courage as well. Septimus, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
It has been my pleasure, Logan. Thank you.
The pleasure's been all mine. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.